Hey guys, today we are doing a 2024 prediction video of Joe Biden, the current president of the United States, Larry Hogan, the governor of Maryland, and Donald Trump, the former president of the United States. So Larry Hogan, I feel like he wouldn't have a good chance of winning the nomination, mostly because he wouldn't appeal. Well, he's a more liberal type of Republican. He is the governor of Maryland, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I feel like the Trump base wouldn't go out for him as much. I don't think Larry Hogan would do well with the minority vote, and I just don't see him doing well with a lot of specific groups. Yeah, I think like Larry Hogan would do well with some more moderates, but yeah. So Joe Biden, I feel like Joe Biden would still easily win. Um, these states, these are pretty safe Democratic states. Even though Larry Hogan is the governor of Maryland, I don't think that would change a lot. It might be that margin, but I feel like it wouldn't make that big of a difference. I feel like it'd still be the same. I feel like we'll just go back to those. Um, to be honest, I'll just do all the Biden states for now. Okay, so I'm not gonna do the Republican states because of Donald Trump and Larry Hogan, so we're just gonna do that. So Nevada, I feel like Larry Hogan would be a good candidate to fight in Nevada, but I feel like with Larry Hogan losing some Trump supporters in Nevada, which is not a lot, but there is a few, I feel like Joe Biden would win it by a 3-point margin. I feel like that Larry Hogan would be a good candidate for states like Nevada, and also Arizona. But I feel like that even though he wouldn't do well with the Trump base enough to win it. Idaho, I think Idaho's a state that Trump would win in a pretty that type of that margin. I feel like he would be popular. Montana, I feel like Montana would go to Larry Hogan in that margin. Actually, let's do this margin. I don't feel like Biden would obviously compete, but I feel like Larry Hogan would compete with Donald Trump, which would obviously be a pretty big competitor in the state. Wyoming, I feel like Donald Trump would win Wyoming in that margin. North Dakota and South Dakota, I feel like would also go to Donald Trump. Utah, I feel like Larry Hogan would win Utah. It's more of a I don't know. I just don't think that it would go to Trump Utah and a versus a Trump Larry Hogan type Biden situation. So I do think that state would go to Larry Hogan. In Arizona, I feel like Joe Biden would win Arizona in a very tight margin. Arizona, again, Larry Hogan would not do well with the Trump base. And Arizona, it's not the biggest Trump base, and they don't have a lot of Trump supporters there, but there's a pretty decent amount of a lot of them, I think, that would make Larry Hogan lose the state. It's in Arizona, it's a more moderate state as well. I would say I would say even like Nevada's less moderate than Arizona, I guess, when you think about it. But yeah, I feel like it would go to Biden in a very small margin. I don't think it would be pretty small. I feel like Larry Hogan would be a good candidate there if it was, but if Donald Trump is a third party candidate, I don't think he would do well. Alaska, I feel like Donald Trump would win Alaska in that margin. I feel like it would be competitive with Larry Hogan. But I feel like Alaska overall, it's a very conservative state, and I feel like it would go to Donald Trump. Oops, sorry. Hawaii, I think that would pretty easily go to Biden. And Nebraska, I feel like that Nebraska is third. No, not third. Well, I would think that the third district would, I think the third district would go to Donald Trump. I do think also. Sorry, I had to pause the recording there, but I feel like that Donald Trump would easily kind of win there. Let's say, oops, that margin. I would say he would also win Maine at large in a more tilt margin, but I feel like he would still win it. I feel like Biden would win the second district of that state in a kind of lean margin. I do think that Donald Trump would also win in the first district of Nebraska. I feel like Larry Hogan would win Kansas. It's a more liberal state, as in like standards for it's more liberal state. It's a more how do I say this? Kansas is obviously a very Republican state, but it's a more liberal one, I would say. Like, it's more liberal than Missouri and Indiana and Ohio and West Virginia, I guess. Those states. I feel like it's more liberal than those. I feel like Larry Hogan. I feel like Joe Biden could maybe get a little boost there, but not a lot. He obviously wouldn't win, but yeah, I feel like Larry Hogan would be good there. I feel like Donald Trump would win Oklahoma easily. This is like one of the only states in the country that every single county went to Donald Trump, which is is Oklahoma. In Texas, I would say would go to Larry Hogan. Um, in a pretty close margin. Okay, hear me out on this. First of all, Larry Hogan would steal a lot of votes from Donald Trump. Donald Trump and like the Trump base in Texas would not go for Larry Hogan and obviously go to Donald Trump, which would steal a lot of votes from Larry Hogan. And my number 2 point is that Texas is becoming a more democratic liberal state a little bit. There's more young people moving to places like Houston and stuff like that, which is making it more tilt. And I feel like with the dividing Republican Party, that would really help Biden out. So I do think that Larry Hogan would win it, but I feel like it'd be a very tilt margin. Minnesota, this is Minnesota. I feel like it could go to Biden pretty well with the divided Republican Party. I don't feel like Larry Hogan would have like pretty much any chance there. Iowa, I will say Iowa would go to Donald Trump in a lean margin. It is more of a I feel like Larry Hogan would get some supporters there, but I feel like it is becoming a very polling state. I feel like it's changed rapidly. For being a very strong Democratic state, and then in 2016, well, it was a swing state, but then it just became a pretty standard Republican state, I would say, in 2016. Missouri, I feel like Larry Hogan would win Missouri in, that margin as well. It is, Donald Trump, there's a base there, but it's not big enough for Donald Trump to win it. And Larry Hogan, I feel like Missouri is a Larry Hogan type-ish state. Yeah, I don't know what really to say. I feel like that it's like Donald Trump. If he was Republican, would obviously go to him. But I feel like that Donald Trump as independent, he would have no chance there. But I feel like it would go to Larry Hogan. I feel like Donald Trump would win Arkansas easily. I feel like he would win Louisiana in a lean margin. I feel like it'd be kind of close there a little. I feel like he would win Mississippi in that margin, maybe. I don't know. Let's go to Wisconsin. I feel like Wisconsin would go to Joe Biden because the divide of the Republican Party and like a lot of the Trump base in Wisconsin is pretty big, and I feel like that would be very, very bad for Larry Hogan. Sorry, I feel like that would be very bad for his campaign. I don't feel like that. I just don't feel like that he would be very popular there, and that Donald Trump would steal a lot of votes. I do think Biden would win it with the divide in the Republican Party. And I feel like, also I'll say this point right now. A lot of blue collar workers that voted for Trump in 2020, I mean, who in 20, well, in 2020, I feel like they would still stick with him in this case. I don't think there would be a lot of voters switching to Larry Hogan. I don't really think that would happen. And Indiana, I feel like Donald Trump would win Indiana. No, this is a pretty conservative state overall. Hasn't gone to any Democrat since 2008, but that's not that long a time ago. But it's obviously pretty close. I don't know what I'm saying now. It's a pretty now pretty conservative. I would say far right state now. I think. I feel like Donald Trump would do well. It's pretty Democratic state. I mean, Republican state. I don't think Larry Hogan would be as much as appeal to the people in there. Kentucky, very strong Trump state. This is a state that obviously Trump dominated in. And West Virginia. I feel like, there. These are pretty, big Republican states. I mean, not Republican states, conservative states. These are some of the most conservative states in the country. And I feel like these would go to Donald Trump pretty easily. Tennessee, I would say Donald Trump would win Tennessee. I think it would be kind of close though. I feel like Larry Hogan might have an appeal there a little bit, but not a lot of appeal. But I feel like I'll give that to Tennessee. Donald Trump. Michigan. I'm gonna say Michigan is gonna be a pretty likely Biden state. Again, Larry Hogan, I don't think would steal a lot of votes from Biden in the state at all. I don't think a lot of people will vote for Larry Hogan. And I feel like even Donald Trump even might be like second place in a state like Michigan. And I don't think Larry Hogan would be that popular there. I don't think that Donald Trump would do well. I mean, Trump would, obviously do well, but as third party candidate, I don't think it would be enough to edge. But yeah, I like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. So in Ohio, I feel like Ohio is more of a Republican type. I would say it would go to Larry Hogan in a very small margin. I feel like Donald Trump could barely win it, but I feel like it would go to Larry Hogan at the end of the day. I don't think it's as far right as states like Kentucky and West Virginia. I feel like it is a state that's becoming more right-ish through recent through recent elections, and I feel like this would be a pretty strong state for. It would be tilt for Larry Hogan. And Pennsylvania, I feel like would go to Joe Biden in the same margin as Wisconsin. This is a pretty conservative state, but I feel like the Trump base there, again, would not vote for Larry Hogan and would go to a third party candidate, which would obviously not help Larry Hogan. It would help Joe Biden. And also, I think he would win the state. To be honest, I think New Hampshire would just go all for like Joe Biden. I feel like, well, no, this is a more no, Larry Hogan kind of reminds me of Chris Sununu in some ways. I feel like overall, New Hampshire, in my opinion, does is a mostly Democratic state. I think, um, but in presidential elections, it's a swing state. But I feel like overall, it's kind of a um Democratic state, and I do think that sorry that it would go to Biden. And but Larry, I feel like if it would be likely though, because Larry Hogan and Chris Sununu, I think, are sort of similar. So I do think that Chris Sununu being the governor of New Hampshire, so I think maybe Larry Hogan have some appeal. I don't think Trump would do that well there, but I think Biden would do pretty well. And I'm gonna change. Oops, I feel like Donald Trump would win the second district in that margin. And now with North Carolina, I feel like Joe Biden would win it by a very small margin. Like, this is more, first off, Larry Hogan would not do well with the minority vote at all, in my opinion. I feel like Donald Trump would have more of an appeal to the minority vote than Larry Hogan, actually. I don't think Larry Hogan would get a lot of the minority vote. And also, the divided Republican Party, obviously, Donald Trump being the more conservative one, and Larry Hogan being the more liberal one of the Republican side, basically. I feel like that Joe Biden would win that state. Um, South Carolina, no, well, not South. I feel like South Carolina will go to Donald Trump in kind of that margin. This is a pretty conservative state, so I wouldn't be surprised if it went fully for Biden. I'm gonna give it. Trump. I'm gonna give him in that margin. Alabama, I feel like Alabama will go fully for um Trump. Mississippi, I put that in that margin because of minority vote, and it's a pretty strong presence there. But yeah. Georgia, I feel like Georgia, I think this would go to Biden. Oops, no. I feel like this would go to Biden. I'm gonna say that margin. This did go to Biden in 2020. I feel like that Biden would do a minority vote, mostly because Larry Hogan would be as appealing, and Donald Trump is not that. I feel like even though Donald Trump would do better than Larry Hogan with a minority vote, I don't think he'd do as well. I think he'd do really well. Um, and then Florida, I'm gonna have to give Florida to Donald Trump. I feel like Florida has radically changed in politics. Trump, that's his home state now. The Trump base is so huge in Florida now. I think that it's not going to go to any Democrat anytime soon. Florida, I do not consider a swing state anymore. I don't think Larry Hogan would do very popular there. So I really think that it will go to Donald Trump in a tilt margin. I don't think Larry Hogan will even compete that much in that state, to be honest. So, this is what I think would happen. I feel like Joe Biden would win with 319 electoral votes, Donald Trump with 136, and Larry Hogan with 83. This was interesting because, again, I'll say this, I think I said this already, Donald Trump would be the more conservative figure. Larry Hogan being more of a moderate type liberal Republican person, and Joe Biden would just be the president. I do think that maybe Joe Biden's unpopularity would be kind of an effect here, but I feel like that um, it wouldn't be that different. I feel like Biden's unpopularity would be an issue, but I don't think that would make him lose. Well, I feel like it make him would lose some votes, obviously though. What am I saying? But yeah. So there's a lot of close states that would went to Larry Hogan in tilt, and there's a lot of close states that I feel like would go to Joe Biden in tilt as well. But yeah. A popular vote. I would say Joe Biden would. I feel like Larry. I would say Donald Trump would get 32%. Larry Hogan would get 31% of the popular vote, and Joe Biden would just get all the rest. Like, yeah, I feel like they'd be accurate. I feel like Donald Trump, I feel like Larry Hogan would be last in the electoral college and popular vote. I don't think it'd be too popular. But yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you agree with my prediction? Is there anything you would change? Oh, wait, wait. Oops, wait. I want to see something. Yeah, I accidentally changed this. Do you think that Donald Trump and Larry Hogan will run in 2024? And also, please subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you, want to tell me a video prediction, you want me to do, tell me in the comments, so I'll consider it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching.